This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Green Bay Packers. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. Able to slither by. And now running right through him. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They were caught in no man's land that time, but the decision to go for it, that was the right one. It's a first down. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Snap coming at 1, and it's Mahomes sliding out of the pocket. Now he'll let it go deep right into a double team, and it's intercepted. picked off by Jair Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Rodgers going to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And it's third down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now Rodgers. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just start out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got the turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Now a first carry from Giovanni Bernard. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Again, Bernard. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Back deep for Kansas City, DeAnthony Thomas. This is taken at about the 14. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just made there?
Yeah, he has certainly made a name for himself. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And the Chiefs are going to get him. DJ Reader in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10.
Black 58 rail! Black 58 rail!
They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Hunt. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
First carry for Royce Freeman. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. The first-round pick, Jair Alexander, making the tackle.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now Mahomes. Over the middle, complete. That's Hunt. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So
maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, some strong running. And he's brought down. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I'll go over here.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They run a draw here on 2nd down. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 3rd down, Rodgers on the screen, Bernard. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Giovanni Bernard, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. Oh, this is blocked. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I know it's easy to kind of shrug off a blocked extra point, but this game is shaping up to be a tight one. The second half, this could prove crucial.
Yeah, we might look back on this one. We'll have to wait and see. And now here comes Kansas City. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, you're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
And he powers his way up past the 30. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. second down, here's Mahomes. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Trying to lay one up deep. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Will Fuller, 76 yards. And the Chiefs are in for 6. And his kick is right through. Butker now to kick this one away. Trevor Davis now to return. And terrific field position here as they finally get him just shy of the midfield stripe.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Our first update now comes from Atlanta. An early lead in that game for the Falcons. I would definitely imagine we'll hear more from that game as we go along.
Hey, watch it. Hey, check 26. Jim. Hey, check 26. Here we go, checking motion. Check.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
The competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
Rodgers to throw on second down. Caught left side Hopkins. And a nice gain of 21 yards. First down now, but the clock continues to move. They go play action here on first down. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. As the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On second down, here's Rodgers. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. The Packers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Rodgers again now. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Now a timeout coming here defensively. As on 4th down, may as well make him punt it. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final shot before the half from Mahomes. Looking deep downfield. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there, just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
88. Zoom.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. He's going to launch this thing. Wait, into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. He finds his target, Fuller. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it's so hard sometimes.
It's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, and they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
And that's about the easiest decline call you'll ever have right there.
Well, it leads me to one of my pet peeves, and maybe peeves is too strong of a word, but if you're going to jump off sides, finish the play. Make sure the play ends. Don't jump off sides and stop, because you see the net result here. If you go ahead and finish the play, you don't give up that type of yardage.
They'll toss it to Hunt, and they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 8. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter.
Let's go.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. shotgun now for Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
He's going to wind up and air it out. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Rodgers will try again on second down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the second pick thrown here in the third quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised. But that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Nick Perry in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Mahomes to throw on second down. Flushed out right. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off. Not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on third down. Makes him manageable.
A heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And that is going to be incomplete. The Chiefs tried it, but they're turned away on fourth down. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
Zoom.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Rodgers now on first down. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. On play action, Rodgers. They'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man. Equinemius St. Brown. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory, all the way down at the 21-yard line. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. A gain of 3, second down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
To throw is Rodgers. Looking to throw on second down. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's third down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Back now at Lambeau. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And that'll bring him back within a point. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
And now here comes Kansas City. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Black 58 rail! Black 58 rail! Z! Slow!
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. Mahomes now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. On the run, this is Hunt. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
From the gun, it's Mahomes, eluding the pressure right. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
For a rookie first-rounder, he's made a huge impact on this defense, but that tells me that they had a plan for him when they drafted him. Just turn him loose, do what you do best, go get the quarterback.
Now here's Mahomes. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now a play fake. Rodgers going deep for Hopkins. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 42 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
That's fine, yeah.
Now Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Touchdown, Packers! Jimmy Graham, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. Yeah, he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Gostkowski now out to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run. And Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Now Mahomes got to have this one. He is going to find Hill here. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Clock running here, under 90 seconds to go. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful, because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Got to be careful here. They need to move quickly, but it's also 4th.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
back to throw. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Packers are going to win this football game. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. The Packers on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll run again. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score again.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Jair Alexander, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Let's go.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Charles, in this one, I think the storyline really, the 4th quarter, coming into it neck and neck, but they were able to separate, put their foot on the gas, and get the win.
And since you mentioned neck and neck, I'm going to stay with a little bit of a horse racing theme. It was that close, and then really went into the gallop and finished it strong.
One more horse racing theme. I am glad you posted today.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So for Green Bay, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. They will hit the road next week for a date with the Oakland Raiders. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Packers are winners here as we say so long from Lambeau.